You knew what you wanted to say. You'd thought about it on the way to work, and then you sat down across from them. They pushed back, and every word that you'd prepared just walked out the room. Now, if that's happened to you, I want you to know something up front. It isn't a sign that you're bad at this. It happens to managers who are very good at this, in fact, and there's a reason for it. A manager I worked with was one of the most articulate people you'd met. In a presentation, in a meeting, on his feet in front of the room, he always had the words, fluent, funny, clear. Then he'd sit down in a one-to-one with a team member who wasn't performing, and something would happen. He described it to me like this. He said, I open my mouth and there's nothing there. Just, look, 15 years of managing people, and I'm standing there going, look, he'd walk out of those conversations furious with himself. He knew the feedback. He'd rehearsed it in the car. He could have written it down word for word an hour earlier. But the moment the other person's face fell or they folded their arms, it all vanished. He decided this meant something was wrong with him, that after all these years, he still couldn't do the one thing a manager is supposed to do. And that's the story he'd been carrying, and it was making the whole thing worse. Let me tell you what's actually going on, because it's not what he thought. When the other person gets upset or defensive or teary, your brain reads it as a threat. Not a logical threat, a physical one. And the same system that would fire up if a fierce dog ran at you in the street is firing up in that meeting room. And when that system switches on, it does something specific. It narrows you. It pulls the blood from the attention away from the thinking part of your brain, the part that holds all your careful words, and sends it to the part that just wants you to get out of danger. That's why your mind goes blank. Not because you don't know what to say, because you do. It's because in that moment, you've lost access to what you know. The words are still there, but the door to them just closed. And this is why it happens to experienced managers just as much as new ones. It was never a vocabulary problem. If it were, 15 years would have fixed it. It's a moment problem. The emotional charge in the room hijacks the very part of you that has the answer. Now, here's where most advice gets it wrong, and I want to name this early because you've probably already been down this road. Someone somewhere has handed you the phrases, a course, an HR guide, a list of sentence starters for difficult conversations, and you tried them, and they died in your mouth. And they died because they were written for a calm room, and you weren't in a calm room. A script assumes you can reach it when you need it. But we just said what happened in that moment. The door to your careful words closes, and that includes the script. Worse, when you force a memorized line out through that closed door, it comes out stiff. It sounds like a hostage reading a statement, and the person across from you can hear it. They know they're being handled. So the problem was never that you didn't have the right words. It's that nobody taught you how to keep the door open so that the words you already have can actually get out. That's a skill. It's not a personality trait. It's not confidence. It's a trainable capability. And it's one most managers were simply never taught because everyone assumed the words were the hard part. The words aren't the hard part. Staying open enough to reach them is. Over the next few weeks, that's what this is going to walk you through. Why the words go missing, what actually brings them back, and the real things that you can say in the specific moments that catch every manager out. Not scripts for a calm room, words that survive a real one. Watch the next video, follow along here. If your mind has ever gone blank in a conversation that mattered, you're in the right place. This is more fixable than you felt.